Good evening, or I should say late night evening, even almost morning time for our friends out on the East Coast. Not quite, but getting close. Uh, but we will bring you in past the midnight hour if you're hanging out with us out there, because I know it's going to run 10 to midnight. That's if you can get Michael and I to shut up. You're listening to the Centralist tonight, so you have myself, Joe Montaldo, and Michael Angley. We'll actually be going over quite a lot of stuff that's been going on. I mean, there's a lot of stuff to catch up on, and just to see which everyone thinks about what's going on. So we got both the chat open in the through all of our regular venues on YouTube and Facebook and all of that, and then of course we've opened Twitter back up. Go Elon, baby! And
Elon,
and we will
Elon.
talk about him as well tonight. But so you can catch the regular venues. Of course, my messenger is open. Well, no, it's not, but I will open it in just a second. And you can catch me on. I will have. Well, it doesn't matter. They're all connected, so just send away. But really and truly, my station manager's on my ass about this. Y'all should go to the chat rooms on either
And
Facebook or on YouTube. She's mean, man. She's
she
abusive too.
she's good with
She
a whip
she
too,
she
man. You know,
she
some people think they
yeah.
are. She really is.
Mm-hmm. That's what I
Crack
hear when
that
she
whip,
locks
and you're
Wayne
like,
when she locks
oh.
when she locks her old man up in the cage. We're not even going to go there, but I mean, it's rough.
Well, you
Anyway,
got to go out for date night. You got to
well,
lock
I know she's
somebody
not
up.
listening, so we're good.
Go out have some fun.
Uh, Actually, Gene, in a few minutes, we're not on that side of the radio yet, but we will be. I'm going to let Michael take over in a few minutes, and I'll go switch over both those two servers. Well, I can't do it because it's on the other side on the other side of the studio. But a lot been going on. We can't wait to talk about Russia and Zelensky and Putin's upcoming cancer surgery. Who did he just threaten to nuke? Who was it? Ireland or somewhere? Somewhere he
He's
threatened to
gonna
nuke
nuke
somebody.
Ireland. I better buy
I don't know
some
where.
whiskey
I could
before
have
he
the
goes.
country wrong, so don't hate on me. I'll have to go look it up while we're talking. But it's. I heard I'm coming home on the radio. I'm like, wait. Who said wait? We're nuking who? I'm thinking, well, that's not even. Well, if they nuke them, screw it. It's not going to really phase anything.
The
It's
Irish
just
don't
kind
even
of.
like anybody. You know, like
No,
why
I
would you
don't
nuke them?
know.
They don't. They're not taking sides. They're the
Obviously,
Irish, man.
obviously, they've got issues with. I have no idea what the hell that was about. That was just too
Remember
funny.
that woman that was hating on my show from Ireland, and she kept writing all this dirty mail, and then she ended up being like my biggest fan. Isn't that funny?
Wait, that happens a lot though, because people you'll say something sometimes. We can be very controversial sometimes, especially when we're talking about things like abortion and other things along those lines. So the shows can be very controversial, and this one tonight will probably be because we're going to touch on the road versus way and the whole 9 yards. But um, sometimes people who hate you turn out to like you. They're
I
like,
think she
wow,
blew herself up or something.
she's like these guys. I'm not gonna go there. But there's also an Irish girl in love with Michelle, so we're not gonna go there either. But she
She
writes
cracks
her.
that whip. You
Well,
know the
she
thing
might
about
like
Irish
that. So
people,
yeah.
I love Irish people, but everything they say comes out so serious. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, I've got to go to the supermarket. You know what I mean? Like, like, okay, you're gonna go to the supermarket. I've got to go to
I
the
know.
supermarket. It's like, come on, man.
So so
So how do you
well,
doing, Joe?
no, Jim, we're not gonna we're gonna go back to all of that in a minute. We're gonna start out in Lizinski country. So what do you think, Mike? Let me ask you this right off the bat. So here's the mighty Russia. I mean, this is Russia. Boom! I am Putin. I am man. I go shirtless on horse. So I'm thinking, all right, we got tanks, we got jets, we got all kind of missiles, we got hypersonic missiles, and here's over there, little Ukraine with hardly no weapons, keeping these bitches at bay. Now, I'm confused. I'm just totally confused at this point. I understand how the Afghans kept Russia at bay because it was a different type of war and it was a different type of territory. This is flat
Because we
land,
supplied them with
basically.
weapons. We
Well, of
we
course we supply them with weapons, but
supplied
they
the
still.
Afghans with weapons. The Northern Alliance with Stinger
Oh yeah, we,
missiles. That
we
was Reagan,
supplied them
man.
with yes,
You know,
yeah,
he made
great
sure to
weapons.
keep the Russians at bay.
Yeah, so because it was hard to root them out.
It's
But
always a good
here's a
way to
different
clean.
place.
It's always a
Yeah,
good way to clean out our surplus. You know what I mean? Like these things pop up, we just give them our surplus, and they use it and they push them back. But do you really think that
right.
Russia's as weak as they appear, or do you think that they are in reserve and waiting for
No,
a
I
larger
think
moment,
well,
something
well,
bigger? You
see,
know,
something
it looks
something's
pretty bad
screwy.
for them.
So you've lost 7 generals and you got one now critically injured. all right, stop sending your generals to the Ukraine. What the hell's wrong with you people?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
But
mean, stop it.
Joe, look at it this way. Putin's been in step with history. And 100 years ago, Stalin purged all the generals, man, the ones who were, or the big fat asses that were doing nothing. He also got rid of all the green stick troops. So think of that. You send out the people with the least and least
but
knowledge and
but
put them
but
right in
that
the
was
field and
different.
whatever.
That was the Soviet Union. This is Russia. Russia's got what 142 million people right now. Only like 40 million of it even could
They
probably even
have
hold a
they've
gun.
they have 2.5 million in their armed forces, and much of that is reserve. So I mean, out of active soldiers, maybe a million and a
Yeah,
half.
but
So
old men with rakes don't count as active reserve. It's just, it's
this is the
I
thing.
don't
They
know.
lie. They lie. They lie like China lies. They the largest standing military on the planet is India, and then comes China. But then you have to look in terms. Remember Saddam's army, the
Mhm.
Republican Guard, who had
Oh yeah,
400,000, 4 million, whatever it was the fourth largest army in the world. Is that they bragged? How quick did they get their asses beaten? How fast did that
but,
happen? I mean,
but,
it was
but that
pretty quick.
but that takes us back to the same thing we're talking about because that was all Soviet weapons, all Soviet triple A, all any aircraft. Um, all those weapons and tanks, everything there was supplied by the Russians. The Americans rolled in like it wasn't in there. So you have to stop and think about this. If America was fighting this war in the Ukraine, Russia would be all the way back to Moscow by now. I mean, it would be just pathetic. I mean, first off, when they lined up that big 40-mile long tank run, I mean, come on. We'd have sent a couple of warthogs, some drones, and it just would have been nothing but, scrap tin left. I'm just there's something about this that bothers me because, so they sent in one of their best ships that got sunk. They sent in one of their best tanks ever made. It got destroyed. They're just not batting real well. And every time they try to
What they've
seem
done,
like they're going to do something, they screw up even more.
if we just take it as face value, we're watching a country that is not very strong. Their only true strength is in the nuclear missiles that they have that they threaten people with. And that was the first thing that Putin went to, I'll nuke you, which shows you that initially he went for he went to all in initially where it was really not warranted. But he that acts as like a fighting junkyard dog who's in a corner now, because now he sees, here's the Ukrainians with our support, NATO support, of course, who are maintaining, but their country is like being leveled, and these 2,000-year-old cities where all this history is being destroyed, and there's people, millions of people that haven't been affected, hundreds of thousands dead, and at what point, you put a stop to it? I don't know, man. Putin, his actions aren't right. Not really. In the case of anybody who ever played the game of Risk, his actions are the logistics
Mm.
aren't there.
I
For
know.
him to lose, but look at the millions in assets they're losing in a small theater like the Ukraine. Of a 42 million people in the Ukraine, very small area for them not to act. So China's got to be laughing their ass off. Xi Jinping is looking at Putin like he's just some old ass pit bull
But you know
that needs
what?
to
But
be
that's a
put out of
problem
his
that's
misery.
a problem for Xi Jinping. It makes him look weak now because he sided with Russia, and Russia just looks like
Xi Jin-
Russia looks like freaking the not the Ayatollah in Iraq. I mean, that's what he looks like, Saddam. I mean, it
you
just
also you
looks
also have to
actually.
think that Putin and people like Xi Jinping, they're surrounded by sycophants who just tell them lies all day. They just tell them what they want to hear, and they don't tell them the truth. So in Putin's mind, yeah, they got the strongest military in the universe, and Xi Jinping's mind, the same thing, and how strong they are. But the reality is, they're not. They're not, and the people are disgruntled. Do you think that the Russian people are going along with this hunky dory and they're all happy? They see what's going on. So there's winds of change coming. Winds of change.
There's a lot of winds of change coming.
And you can't go back in time, man. The, you know what? Zelensky could have handled this initially. He could have just loaded up a bunch of suitcases full of cash and got into his private plane and left. Take his wife and go, and rule from afar, be leader in exile, that type of thing, and not trigger what had happened. So there's also misgivings when you have all of that. But that's the Ukrainian mentality. I know people from Ukraine. I'll fight you. I'll fight you. I'll fight you. And that's just the cashiers at the local store. I fight you. Like,
Well,
listen,
they
lady.
definitely put up a
Listen,
fight. I
lady.
mean,
Don't be mad at
they're
me.
not screwing around. You never
I
know.
bought two chickens one time, and that lady was criticizing me. Oh, you must be rich, man. Buy two chickens. It's like, what the- oh, I
Yeah,
got
it's
people
well,
to feed. The chicken ain't gonna
right.
just sit there.
It cracks me up though. Well, these days it's part of what's going on in the world.
You must like
Wait, somebody
chicken.
just hit.
In my
Yes.
country,
Well, the
we don't eat
Ukrainians are a
crab
blast.
chicken. We
Well,
eat the
I
rat.
mean, look at it. They have been putting up a serious fight, and actually, I think Russia's lucky they have made strikes inside Russia, and that's probably
Well,
because we won't let them have them damn MiGs. If we give them
that's
the
that's
MiGs, they might go blow some shit up at
That's
Russia.
that's the border point because we have drones we can give them that can go long and far. Not just drones, I
Yeah, but
mean,
that's
you got
exceeding our.
cruise missiles. You got cruise missiles that can just go and reach out and touch somebody very easily. And we're not going to do that because that supposedly is the red line. If there is one, I don't think there is a red line. You got Biden trying to shake hands with nobody. You know, like
I know. I mean,
I don't even think he's aware.
sorry.
I don't even think he thinks he's the president. He keeps referring to Kamala as president. I don't know, dude. And she's laughing. She's the most inappropriate laughing person I've ever seen. I mean, like, there's a time to laugh and not. Damn,
He's.
it's like a joke.
Don't.
It's like a joke. You can't make this stuff up. If you told someone that didn't know the whole situation, I mean, all the stuff that's going on, they wouldn't believe it. But
Yeah,
yeah.
they wouldn't believe it. Oh, wait, I just lost one of the things I was looking at. Damn.
Well, on the 9th, you got 3 more days. Russia's got some big announcement and whatever, and it's like an anniversary for them for some bull crap. And then they say Putin has to declare victory by then. That's what they are saying. So
I
who
don't know how
knows? Right
that's
now,
going to
it's
happen.
it's it, it's stagnant. Right now, he's used his resources. They run out of money. In a couple of weeks, they're short of all their debt. They're not paying their debt, so they go into default. So financially, there's a lot of things happening for Russia. They can keep let's face it, they can keep their currency up because they can say it's worth whatever they think it's worth. Because it's their currency and whatever they're backing it up into. But the whole world is watching. Put it that way. And China wants to move on Taiwan. But what are they seeing? They're seeing, hey, we're not even acting. We're just supplying these guys with some weapons. They're making those switchblade weapons just for the Ukraine. It was a device that our companies came up with to use in that situation. That shows you that we can respond. We respond fast. The U.S. can create whatever you need. UK, Australia, you can snap your fingers, and we're this war machine. You got Japan and Germany too putting their paws in the game, man. Russia looks very isolated right now and very weak. To me, just in face terms, they're weak. And the United
Well,
States is also, let's say this way, United States has bases all around the world. We are 3 to 5 minute strike time to any city, anywhere in any country. That's power. That goes beyond who sells gasoline.
yes.
You know what
Plus,
I
we
mean?
got carriers floating all over creation.
Joe, you were in the military. Those B-2 bombers can be up there how long, how many days, and
Well,
just drop bombs and
if we
drop
got
bombs.
fuelers, and if we've got fuel in the fuelers up, refuelers up in the air, they can be up for a long time. It's right now though. It's funny because usually what we'll do is we've got bases all over, like you just said, and then we've got fleets all over. So
Yeah,
we've got the land power and the sea power, so we can come at you from a lot of different ways. And Russia, for some reason, its navy, kind of fell apart, and they just,
they don't
I
have it,
guess
dude.
Putin.
They don't.
Well,
They don't
Putin
have it.
figured with the
They've been
gas,
through
and
crap.
well, if gas prices stay like this, Putin might be able to get what he wants. But
But you see that you see
currently, he doesn't
how
have it.
what liars they are, you know, and so I mean that goes a long way. When people think, remember that robot? They came out with this robot, and he was dancing and playing soccer. Turns out it was just a guy, with a robot suit on. You know what I mean? And that's Russia. That's them. That's the mentality. You got to kind of use subterfuge all the time and lie to the enemy to make them think you have more than what Saddam did it. How many times did he say he had nuclear weapons of mass destruction?
Yeah,
It didn't work
weapons of
out
mass
well for
destruction.
him, did it? Then the dude with
Yeah,
palaces and the billions and the gold this and gold that, they found him in a rat hole and they hung him. That's the
but
reality of life.
I don't know where all this is going to end up with everybody because it's rough. In Russia, just
Escalation is where it's
oh,
going to
what is
end
it?
up.
It's what you said. It's Victory Day. That's what's coming. Oh well, no wonder he's got to declare
If
victory.
this guy decides to use nukes, and my fear is that it's been talked about so much that when you talk about something that much, you're kind of opening the door for it to happen. And you know that the military would love to see this used, and it's a dark, terrible thing to say, but it's the truth of it. And we're think about our political analysts and the military, the Pentagon. Everybody's studying this fine tooth comb. This isn't war games that Putin's engaging in. This is a war with a little itty bitty country, and they're maintaining. They're not just pushing them back, but destroying thousands of tanks, trucks, soldiers, generals, all these different assets, reaching over the border and blowing up, gas plants and things like that. That's serious. If we gave the Ukrainians serious stuff, they kick Russia's ass. And Russia's only response is, "We can nuke you. We can nuke you." Well, you do that, you're going to get the radiation right back in your
Well,
face, buddy.
well,
That's
they
their
can
only
definitely nuke
threat.
us.
Well,
It's a
Putin's out of his
shame
mind.
that's
If he has cancer, that stuff went into his brain. He's nuts. They need to get him out of there and stop this madness already, and start a healing process if you can. I don't think that with the rapes and all the stuff and the children, the things they've done to people, the pregnant women. How do you get beyond that, Joe? How do you get beyond that?
well, you don't. In the beginning, it's going to take time. I mean, first thing you're going to have to do is say, all right, well, look, you're going to have to admit it first, and then you're going to do reparations, and then you're just going to have to say, look, it wasn't us. It was the madman. He did it, but still, y'all went along with it.
All
So
those
there's going to be a
Nazis
lot of
went
that.
along, right? The Nazis and Hitler, and they hunted the Nazis down
Yeah, they
afterwards.
hung them all, well, as many as they could find down.
They're
The thing about
still
all
doing
this
it.
is
They're still finding
yeah,
it.
but see, this is the point now for Putin. There's going to come a point of no return. So we're not there yet, but he can get there. I mean,
Well, did you see that? What Fiji took one of those oligarchs yachts? Big, big $500 million yacht. Man, they seized it for the U.S. That's pretty nice. So these
yeah, I
guys are
wonder who's going to
feeling.
get that. Yeah,
They're starting to feel it. You
yeah,
know,
we should go down there and say, hey, no, 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 that was our yacht. What the hell are you doing? Get off our yacht. We don't
they
work for
can
the Russians. Give us our damn
donate it.
yacht back. Yeah, donate it to the station.
UPRN,
Yes,
and we can run
we
our
want it. We want it. Yes, we
station
need a
from there,
yacht.
man, floating around.
We doubt we're going to afford to fill a damn thing up one time. Shit, it's fighting
I was
100
just
G's in
about to say
fuel.
I wouldn't be able to afford to put gas in that thing. Some
Yeah, I
diesel.
bet you it's 100 G's in fuel at least, man. Oh man.
You would have to sit
Um,
there. No, you have to sit there at a dock and make it into a club, and you got to turn that frat upside down. You got to turn that
well,
thing into cash. You
so
know,
Jack's writing in from Miami. He said, "What do we think Santez's chances of winning is if Trump doesn't run? Do you think he can win the presidency? Oh, I think he can. I think he can easily win the presidency. That's, I don't know if Trump doesn't run. I think he can win the presidency. If Trump runs, he's not going to win the primary.
you remember that show Dukes of Hazard, right? The old one.
Mhm.
The good one, man. Bart was a
Yeah, with
Barbara
Daisy
Bach,
Duke in it.
Catherine Bach,
Yes, hey
whatever.
Daisy, baby.
Yeah, she was smoking hot. You remember that show? So in that show, there's this evil character, Boss Hogg, who kind of ran the county. He was the shifty money guy. He had a nephew that looks just like the Santos, and acts like him. You know what I mean? So when I see DeSantos, I think of Dukes of Hazard and this shifty, stupid nephew who kind of is just he's a Hunter Biden. He's that type. And they've been allowed in the culture of corruption. They've been allowed to survive and thrive and make deals on our blood with our blood, man. You know,
But
not
that's the thing
good.
about Santos. This guy, nobody's talks bad about this guy. His wife's dying of cancer, and he still seems to be able to hang with her, do spend the time with her, and still get out and run his state. It's
Yeah,
gonna be hard to beat this guy, man.
they can't prove
And
him wrong. Really, is the thing. What I see of him is that all these people go after him, but they really can't prove him wrong on things. And he's not done a terrible job running Florida, has he?
no, Florida's doing pretty good. Matt, it's funny too. You said that because today I was listening to this. They get these crazy guys on the radio to come on early in the morning. They were talking about how they always pick on Florida, and they all four of them said, maybe we should move there. they really got their shit together. The states really, and they changed some tax bracket now, or some way they do their taxes, so it's way way better. And they're like, yeah, maybe we should just move there and hang out. It's like,
Mm.
oh my God, there's gonna be another big migration to Florida because that's what happens with Florida. Every now and then there's just a big wave of people moving. What are they at?
I
Three,
respect
four
people
million
that
now.
I respect people that live there. They love Florida. They vacation there. Whatever. To me, it's America's basement. It's moldy. It's got bugs.
It's
I
got a
don't know.
lot of
I
bugs.
don't like
Got a lot of mold too. They
got
got a
some
lot of
alligators
bugs,
hanging out.
but nah, in a
There's
nice
there's,
place in
there's
Florida.
alligators in puddles, man.
There's alligators all over Florida, just like there's here. But
Yeah, I don't need that.
Florida,
I don't need that. You know
But
what?
Florida has
I can
beautiful
handle a lot.
homes.
If I'm walking through the woods, there's a deer. That thing runs away or does its business, man. I'm not worried about being dragged away and killed.
Well, you're gonna
That
see lots of
that's
deer. I mean, there's lots of deer down here, man. They're all over the damn place. Same place in Florida. They're all over.
I'm
They see
sure
lots
they're
of
as
hogs
equally as
too, man.
scared as everybody else with these goddamn alligators running around. There's things on the
There's big
planet that
hogs
exist
out
that I can
there.
live without. If I was to
Yeah, I
push a
mean,
button.
actually, dude, you'd probably be more scared of the hog than the damn
Oh man,
alligator.
I hear all about the javelina from my sister out there out west, man. The javelina, and they run, they're like huge packs of these huge
Yeah,
pigs with.
they got. They tell you what, that's a good job, man. They got bounties on them now. They're trying to get rid of them. We're talking about hogs out in West Texas, guys. Uh, no, we're gonna
I
go
thought you
back
were
to
talking
Santos and
about
Lizard. No, we
a
talking
bounty on who?
the bounty on who? Yeah, no, no. They got all throughout the South now. They got a bounty on hogs. They might
Go
even be putting a bounty on deer because they're
go
becoming
kill all the
downriver.
gophers.
And,
Kill all the gophers. Listen, man, if I kill all the golfers, I'm gonna go to jail. It's capital murder.
uh,
Not golfers, you idiot. Gophers. I love it.
oh, uh,
You know what? That's
Patri-
fine, man.
Patrice wants to know why they got to put a bounty on deer. They're such man. Look, they all over Mississippi now. I mean, they shitting
Deer.
everywhere.
Was it
People don't
deer
hunt like they used to.
or the hogs? They're putting a bounty on those hogs because they're like destroying crops and doing
Yeah,
all
but they put
kinds of
them
stuff.
on deers
They're
now too because there's so many of them. They're doing the same
Oh,
thing.
you know what? I know someone local up in Ithaca there that got charged by two of them as they were going through the woods on their little nature trail. So all these anti-gun people, I'm like, yep, there you go, man.
Micah wants to know why she should vote for Ron DeSantis. Look, I don't know. I'm not a Floridian. I'm a Mississippian.
I'm not telling
New
anybody to
Orleanian.
vote. You telling anybody to vote? I don't even
Uh,
like the guy. I think he's got a weak chin. I don't trust anybody that comes from Harvard either, especially someone down
he's
south. I have a whole bunch of
he's
emotions.
he's DeSantis. I don't know. I mean, he's popular and he's got a good chance of being the next president of the United States. The problem is right now, if Joe Biden decides to run again, anybody can beat him. I think I could put my Chihuahua
I don't
Lola up.
think
I
the
think she
guy
could beat
can
him.
even make it, man. I think he's at the end. You know, he's knocking on death's door. That dude.
Well,
He
there
looks
was
like
a
he doesn't even
thing.
know where he is. Ain't no way he can go back on the campaign trail. He's not even maintaining his position.
What do you
You know,
mean?
and
He didn't go to campaign training this time. He sat in the
this
freaking
is just
basement.
yeah, he was in the basement. So this is just the when we see him in public now and he's messing up huge or forgetting things, slurring, not forming words, or trying to shake hands with nobody, he's doing a lot of weird stuff. We're just seeing that part. Imagine the other parts we don't see because there's 99% of time that we don't see with this dude. That's the thing, and they're going to keep it going because that's the position of power. Or you'll get cackling Kamala in there. Cackling Kamala. That's what I'm going to call her, man. And I like her. You know what I mean? I think that
Yeah,
you
Mike's
know
got a
what? I don't like
crush
her
on
as vice
Kamala,
president.
guys.
I do. I'd
Mike's
hit
got
that.
Mike's got a crush on her. She's whacked in the brain, but still, her
I
husband
like
seems okay.
Jamaican. I like Jamaican. She got Jamaica in there, man. And she can cook Indian food. That's a dream. That's a dream. And she likes to laugh. She likes to smoke weed and laugh.
Oh
And
my
and
God,
she can.
I don't
I
think she's
think that
allowed
she
to
likes
do
to have
that.
fun, man. You know what? But there's people saying that she's not getting along with Biden, and they're at odds. And I don't know about what because I don't know where his mind can even be right now. He's not even acting right. And look at all the stuff with Hunter, his son. There's more and more info coming out about money, where it went, who the big guy is. You got to
Well,
be pretty dimwitted not to understand
you
where
seen
they're
Hillary
going.
got all pissed because somebody asked her about committing treason, and she lost her. I mean, she lost her cool. And the problem is if the Durham report or what we've heard leaked, the Durham report is true, she committed treason. I'm still not sure how they're going to get around that. They don't like putting people in jail. Democrats or Republicans for that matter, they don't like putting them in jail when they're that powerful. But I don't know. I mean,
She's not
putting a
going to
plant.
jail. You
Well,
know that.
no, well, no, they got to do something.
Look at Comey. Look at Comey, man.
Oh no, this is no
Nothing ever
Cody. This
happened
is
to that
nothing.
guy.
No. This is nothing compared.
Nothing ever
She
happened to
committed
him.
treason. She put a spy in
So
the
did he.
White House. No, he didn't have a spy in the White House,
Hmm.
but and she
He
also
was the spy in the White House.
she also illegally wiretapped Trump Towers. Now they know for a fact. So yeah, she's going. She's either going to jail or she's going to the pretty people jail. Yeah, but I don't know how she's going to get out of the treason part. It's just, especially if a Republican takes over. If they get a
There's
Republican in 2 years, they're going to go after her full force.
a wave happening. It has nothing to do with the red wave either. It has to do with people who are just sick of all the shenanigans, and then they're coming out, and they're like they're Elon Musk people. He's not a Republican. He's not a Democrat. He's a middle of the road guy. He's like us. He shares. We all have that kind of same outlook, and there's a wave of people like us who are coming forward, saying enough's enough. And then look at the Democrats and what they've wrought and what they've done, the riots and all that, and how they didn't denounce that, and how they provided dark money for that to happen, and you can go on and on and on and on of the atrocities of what they committed to win power. Even using COVID-19 against Trump just to win. And people that don't really read the article, they're going to hear these headlines and they're going to form their opinions from that, or who they know and who said this. It's not really, the news is manipulated. It's
Uh,
manipulated. There really is no news. It's all
but
opinion, or they cherry pick and they put it out there. So
it
so let's
says,
get to abortion. Look at the abortion issue and how this is
but
exploding.
wait, before you go there, wait, hold on a second. Hold on. This just came across a thing. It says, hold on, let me read it. Russian unsinkable aircraft carrier deep in NATO territory.
Uh-oh.
Into that. Yeah, see, I don't know how long we'll put up with that kind of shit. Uh, let's see, the Russian Baltic Fleet has announced that it carried out a series of simulated missile strikes of its nuclear capability system. Uh
I
oh.
just, you know
Oh,
what? I was cleaning out my mom's house, man, my storage in there, and I just found my radiation detector, my Geiger counter, and it was a real weird omen. And I thought I had lost it forever, man. I had seen that thing in a couple of years, and it still worked. Made in the USA, buddy.
you know what?
so
Maybe
so
America should just take him out and be done with it. We got a lot of
that's
a
what I'm
lot of.
saying.
Here you go. You
We
just
send
talking
our.
about alligators. 10-foot alligator blocks Interstate 49 by sunbathing
You
on the
see,
highway.
it hurt me, man.
That's
I
just
think
too
that we
freaking much.
need,
Sorry, guys.
you know what? Just not just between us, man. Just between us. I think that I think that we need our best hit man to go out there and take Putin out, and somebody that can get to him. I think that we call Hillary Clinton and ask her. There's nobody better,
Hmm.
man. Nobody,
I know she seemed to
nobody
definitely got
does
away.
it better.
But the
What's
problem for
what's
her
the
is
guy?
now
What's the guy
she's
the
lacking
6 foot
power
two
now.
guy
So
who hung himself?
what is this?
The
Why is
6 foot two
Vincent
guy who
Harris
hung
fighting?
himself for 4 feet in the air.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
They put him in
Epstein.
a
Yeah.
cell with some cop, some bald cop. Did you see that guy's muscles, man? The muscles. The cop who killed 4 criminals with his hands. They put him in the cell with him and moved the guy out, like the cop, at like 11 o'clock at night,
So,
all under the cover,
so
and the camera
I
was
know.
out.
It's fucking crazy.
The cop
That
choked
whole
that
thing
guy.
was
The
crazy.
cop
So
choked that.
so
You'll
look,
see.
I
You'll
got.
see. It'll be in a book. Some.
Oh yeah, we'll be in a book. Somebody. Well, I don't know. They may kill the girl too. Let's see. So I got Yahoo News open, NBC News open, Fox News open, CNN and MSN and NBC. I mean, I got so the reason I opened it up is
Don't
I
forget
knew we were
you.
going to talk about Roe versus Wade. So you guys, I said this the other day and everybody got mad at me. So this has
Oh.
been 3 days now, right, since it started, because everybody said, "Oh, it's going to affect the election." It's not going to affect November. At the most, it might even hurt the Democrats even more. A lot of Democrats have been busting. Even the California governor came out and was bitching about how this was handled, what was going on. But for some reason, or another, a lot of Democrats have come out and said because they want to do it through Congress that they won't vote for it, so they're not going
Well,
to be able
well,
to eat. Okay.
It's a normal thing for in the midterm where if one group has complete control, president and all that, you know what I mean, and the Congress to
Mhm.
flip back. But these guys have gone to the point of no return with their ridiculous policies, even starting up agencies like that. The one who's going to police free speech, this woman that they put in charge of it, she's clearly nuts. I mean, I've watched video of her. She's very opinionated, very driven. She's not biased at all, and you can't have people in government that are like that. You just can't. And especially in a bureau that's in charge to go after people for free speech. Well, what's their intention? What are they going to do if you found guilty of whatever they think you're guilty of? And at some point, the Republicans are going to take control and have control of that very same department. So these Democrats should think before they act, and they never do.
Well, they
You
never
know,
did, like when they changed the rules of the Senate and the Congress, and came back and bit him in the ass when when Trump became president. Even when Obama was president, came back and bit him in the ass. They just want, they think at the moment, they don't think any further. They're ridiculous. But the reason I brought up all these windows is so I'm looking while you're talking. I'm looking on Yahoo News. There's not a mention of the argument about Roe versus Wade. There's all kind of other stupid crap on here. Oh, here's one about Hanley, and oh, wait, the Durham program. We might have to see what that's about. But I mean, none of this talks about that. Here's Trump way down here at the bottom. Inspired school presentation. I have no idea what that's about. Don't even want to know. Here's Elizabeth Warren explodes on the View. Claimed police could investigate. I don't know what that's about either. Wait, Liz. Let's go check on Liz. Oh, the View claims police could investigate
you got to look at the
miscarriages if
legality
Roe was
when
overturned.
it comes.
Well,
Well, you
this is
have
going
to
to get
look at the
crazy.
legality, right? Pregnant women get shot. But a pregnant woman in a lot of states gets shot, and she gets shot, baby gets shot. They get charged with a double homicide if they die. They get charged with multiple two assaults. The offender. So there's baby rights at some point, right? And it's more like a requested right, and that's not the way the country works. We have our rights, and do you think that? When someone gets pregnant, which is really funny because now they finally understand what a woman is. You got somebody going into the Supreme Court who clearly stated that she was not a biologist, that she doesn't know what a woman is, and which is crazy to hear for being a rational adult. Not that I am, but but crazy to hear that oh, is it raining outside? Well, I don't know. I'm not a meteorologist. I can't judge. I mean, it's just stuff like that. So now they're like, well, it's a woman's right, woman's body. That's fine. That's fine. And that body has a very specific purpose, and it's a very important purpose of life. They don't create, the female doesn't create life. It's a combined effort, and it's biology, right? But the one thing for sure, this is how you shut down everybody with the abortion issue, man. The ones who say that that should be legal and all that. It comes down to this: you are denying life to a being. You're making certain they don't get born. It's not about heartbeats. It's not about a soul or anything that you can't even measure. It's about progress and going forward. And if you stop it, you stop it. But some people use it as birth control. Let's face it. Some people are out there bragging they've had dozens of abortions throughout their life. At some point, you have to say, okay, I mean,
Mhm.
it's a huge issue now, isn't it?
No,
and
it
uh,
is.
and it's if the Supreme Court rolls back, you can expect all kinds of mayhem. They've been talking about this anyway, but it's gotten to such a ridiculous world. It's like being a freaking fourth grade or something. When people are
Well, it
just
is a lot of time.
asinine.
Well, so I was reading just now. We were talking about people going to jail and Hillary Clinton. So Durham got the judge to agree to let him go through all of Clinton's 2016 campaign, everything. She did go her going to
These
jail.
guys have a
Uh,
12-year-old mentality, and they never grow up. They're stuck at 12 years old. All these people, man,
yeah.
and
Well, I'm
Nancy
thinking.
Pelosi, all these people, even Trump, all of them. It's like watching a bunch of kids fighting amongst themselves. Meanwhile, we have real problems. Real problems. These
They
guys
don't care
are
about that.
very wealthy and powerful. They don't have the same problems. They're not worrying about their light bill.
Well, they don't care about your problems. They don't care about their
They're
problems.
not worried about food
What's
on the
it?
table. They're not worried about stuff like that. You know,
Hey! I
Mayor
seen that
Adams, New
I
York City
love
Mayor
Biden
Adams.
shit
Where is he?
wherever that
He's
came
he's
from. Shame on you. Sorry.
Adams is in Los
Exactly. Good seeing you
Angeles.
too, man.
You know, the New York City's got a crime wave. New York City has a crime wave. Adams was in Los Angeles, bumping elbows with Dave Chappelle, giving comments about violence in L.A. At fundraisers. At fundraisers, you know. So this is what's this? What they care about? Money, money.
I care about money
That's
a
why they
lot.
hate Elon Musk because he used money to do something good. You know.
Um,
Now,
I
now
love
they're
Elon,
calling him
man.
racist. They're calling him racist.
Mm.
They're bringing him back to apartheid when he was a little kid, saying that he took part in
What do you mean?
apartheid.
You
He was
do
like
know
raised
he's the richest African American on the planet, right?
That's right. Then they're
He's the
putting him
richest
down.
African. Oh yeah, and it burns people's asses when people say that too. They're like, he's not African American. I said, yeah, he was born in Africa.
You know
He
what,
lives in America now.
John Kerry's wife? She's also from there. And she's Mrs. Hines 57 fortune. She said that, and nobody even took issue with her saying that she was African American or whatever. They're like, how
Well,
dare you
Elon
say
didn't say
that?
it. A bunch of other people said it, and then for some reason, one community got all upset about it. I don't know why, because it's true. He is African American. Maybe that should help people understand stuff. I don't know. What is that, Dean? Wait, what? Oh no, 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 no. As far as I know, Russia's still stuck where it's stuck at. But since it's his victory day coming up, I think it's the 9th. Um, Something's going to have to give, or he's going to have to make something give. Maybe he'll drop a nuke of Maripol, a short range tactical nuke. Yeah, maybe he'll do that.
A lot of people
And
are discussing that, but the only problem with that is, you know, uh, once you cross that threshold, it's on. I mean, how much further can you go? Without really, I think that even he would have to overreact on a situation to really put the chilling effect in for the nuclear war. Yeah, we're happy to use them. He threatened the UK. One of their generals threatened the UK. So London, matter of fact,
yeah, London got nukes too, buddy. You better watch out.
poor
Yes,
London.
people. They have nukes. Well, not London, but Britain has nukes. No, I think America would take a dim view if y'all nuked. You know, Americans are funny. We like Europeans and all, but we kind of consider the Brits, the Canadians, and the Australians like cousins. We don't. We're not gonna let you screw around with them. Nah, the rest of Europe we might, but we're not gonna let you screw around with them. But we
I
consider
got a lot of
them.
friends in England, man. I have a lot
Oh,
of
so do
friends,
I.
England, Scotland, all throughout the
Yeah.
region, and so I can't even imagine something like that. But I hate
But
to
you
say
French
that the
people,
psychic,
I'm just saying, little French
the
people, we're
psychic
weird.
Bobovania predicted all of this stuff, and she also predicted seeing Russia become like a superpower. So it's interesting for someone who was 85% right.
Yeah, well, I
Documented. It's
don't know if
interesting.
Russia's going to become a. I don't know if Russia will ever become a superpower, but the Soviet Union sure the hell would.
See, but
But
Russia's got to get Putin's got to go. He's got to go, man.
he's going to go
The
soon
stuff he's
enough.
done really. It wasn't smart. Nothing smart about it. It wasn't intelligent. It wasn't. He could have done it so many different ways. It could have happened so many different ways. So that's why, like, I can't believe it's not some setup because it's a very obvious mess up. I mean, if you take it at face value, he really screwed up. I mean, really screwed up. You
Hmm.
know. So, and at this point, where it's going on and on and on, Russia keeps losing all these huge assets.
I don't. Russia. But
You
see,
can't tell me
biggest
you're
problem
happy
for.
about that.
Well, yeah, but Russia keeps losing all of this, and then on top of that,
Yeah, but that
they
missile
really
boat,
don't have the
you
money
know,
to replace it.
even crappy Russian cruise missiles cost a couple million apiece more. When they lost that missile boat, they lost a lot of assets, man, and they have to replace that. And now they're running short of cash. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens, and we can just keep shoveling it over. Here's a whole bunch of other here's another weapons package. But have we interfered? Yes. Has NATO interfered? Of course. If we didn't interfere, would Putin have these troubles? No. They would have gotten in there and done their thing, and that would have been it, and overwhelmed the people. But we helped them push back. We gave them also intelligence where the generals were, where that ship was. Now they're saying that was out in the Black Sea that they targeted. If they shot it with a Ukrainian missile, but it was our intelligence that helped them. So it's a proxy war, right?
Hmm. Well,
Also, they're giving credit to Elon that giving them access to Starlink. It was a huge deal.
It is a huge deal. It's still pissing Russia off every
He's
day.
he's a good guy. Do you know, like, when Puerto Rico had that hurricane, Hurricane Maria, like, destroyed the whole place? This guy, like, basically gave them all these generators that were battery generators, the big Tesla generators, and
Yeah.
just they got him there fast. I mean, he's cool. You know what I mean? Like, the guy's not all about himself, at least. Uh, so
No,
I give him that.
and he likes picking on people. He picks on Jeff Bezos. He picks on
So
Bill
so
Gates.
when Dave Chappelle was attacked by that crazy dude, Elon was in the front row right next to Jay Z and Beyonce, man. So there was like a lot of people there. Chris Rock was there, and it was kind of funny. Then they made fun of Will Smith for a while, whatever. But it's very
Cool.
serious. The left has given this anger and violence and fake outrage thing a green light, so people can go out there and hurt other people. We've seen it happen over the last few years. We've seen them say it and do it and encourage people and incite people to riot and to hurt others. We have to stop all this, man. And people need to wake up that they're being used. They're being used by a bunch of millionaires. So ha ha.
Bunch of idiots. It's no, actually, Gene, here. I was telling Mike a minute ago. It's so all of these websites I've got open, Roe versus Wade's not even being mentioned on any of them. We're talking NBC, Fox, CNN,
Oh yeah.
MSN, and Yahoo. For some reason, there's not a mention. So I'm on NBC right now, and let's see what stories I got pinned jumping up here for y'all.
Apparently, there's an
Great.
investigation going on to find out who the leaker was, so they can prosecute the leaker. So we'll see what happens there.
Oh, you mean for the? Oh, yeah, for releasing the. It might turn out to be one of the Supreme Court justices. Maybe one of the right ones.
It's
The one
all
that
bull
didn't
crap.
vote for him.
When these guys in the government said, "Hey, the gas prices are high. We're going to give you rebate cards, gas cards in the mail," they just say that stuff. They never do it. It's just pacified by words, and then people forget about it, or they think they get used to paying the higher prices. They get used to it. So I mean, you know something that's a shame. The stock market, even though it's crashing right now, is not tied to human suffering. And if the American people are suffering, the stock market can go up, 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 and we've seen that. We've seen these billionaires who made so much more money during the pandemic while people suffered and things got shut down. So it's an interesting system with that, you know. But how much when they print all that money and all those trillions of dollars, every dollar they print has debt attached to it, and that debt is our debt, and it goes on and on and on, and they make jokes about it. So
the debt. I don't even know. Most of the debt's not even real. It's pretend made
it's
up
real
blue
when you're
collar.
paying your taxes and you see what you're
Yeah,
paying
for
for.
us, yeah,
You see what they do, what these guys do with our money. So I mean,
yeah,
even the
but
whole COVID-19 thing, they approved all this money for more funding for COVID to help people. And what they do, these Democrats took the money and used it for other stuff. They made it so they can use it for other things. They canceled all these programs, these awesome programs that helped a lot of people, and then that's them. And it's funny because if that was a Republican in there doing that, they'd be so out there in your face, yelling and screaming. You're sitting in a restaurant, they're screaming in your face, "You cut the funding." They're using outrage just to push power. They see that people recoil when the outrage is in their face. People want to run the other way, so they're taking these people who really can't control themselves in many cases, and they're putting them out there into Antifa and these other groups, getting them in your face. It's a brute squad, isn't it? It's a tactical advantage doing something like that, being in your face, and you being afraid. Right now the chief justices have protesters outside their homes yelling and screaming all night long with bullhorns. You're not seeing that in the news, but it's happening right now. And there's nothing, the police don't do anything to haul them away, not even for disturbing the peace, which is ridiculous because there's laws being broken, you know?
yeah, well, that's because they don't care. They're hoping when something happens to one of the justices, they can put a new one in.
I care. You care.
Yeah, but like I'm saying, they don't care.
No.
It's so. I have to agree with. I just read a report
Hey,
earlier about. I read this report earlier about one of the government agents came out and basically said, told Biden he needs to shut up about when we helped him to kill a general or blow up a ship or something. Just shut up, Biden. We don't. They don't need to know it's us. They don't know it's us. They don't need to know it's us. Why would you go bragging about this? Only Biden would think this was cool. And then I was listening today to the lady talking about the 3.6 unemployment rate, and it's the lowest it's been in 50 years. No, it was 3.6 under Trump. So it ain't the lowest it's been in 50 years. It's just back to where it
Bi-
was.
Biden, Biden's out of his mind, man. He's got some kind of problem. He's losing his cognitive abilities, and it's very obvious. It's in front of you. I'm not saying that because I don't like him. I'm saying it because it's just the observations of what I've seen from this guy, and he goes in and out, in and out. And anybody who's ever known anybody that has dementia, Alzheimer's, you know the signs, you know what it is. There's no guessing to something like that. He's what, 80 years old, going on 80 years old. He is at a point in his life he should be taking a rest. Not out there running the free world, not out there being commander in chief. He's terrible at that job because he just can't handle it. So then you got cackling Kamala, who's next. Oh God. And like I
And
said, I like her, man.
Biden thinks
I
he is
like her.
God. That's the funny part. And Kamala, well, Kamala's just, I don't know, she's an idiot.
She doesn't like him. You
But
saw
and if
her.
she's not an
her
idiot,
the,
they don't give her a chance to show she's not. So you don't really know.
let me tell you, man, she put a lot of people in jail when she was prosecutor out there, in California. So I mean, she's not exactly Miss Dippy Libby. I think that she more follows the path of the party and what they tell her to think. You can see it. It's very obvious.
Somebody just
But
sent me.
Biden, he's
Biden's is crazy. Somebody sent me a Bill Barr throws cold water on Biden's
man, it's sad.
disinformation board.
It's sad to see. His family should step in, and other people should too. It's really sad to see, but we need someone who can think quickly and who understands how to respond with some kind of intelligence, and also some kind of understanding of what's going on, and not have to have some old guy process things that are happening. And he could launch a nuke, he himself. So I mean, he's got power, and it seems like people are telling him what to do. They had that bunny rabbit at Easter telling him what to do, when he was saying stuff, and they told him to shut up. Bunny rabbit tells you to shut up. You know what I mean? That's like some
Mm-hmm.
LSD days. Sorry, hallucinating. This giant bunny rabbit just told me to shut up. Have
Oh
to
wait, so
process that
you were
for.
talking about him being at the house. It says Twitter users were shocked when White House press secretary Jean did not explicitly condemn pro-abortion activists from planning to target Supreme Court justices' homes. So you're right there in that. You should have said no. I mean, that's, and they want to cry about June 6th. I'm like, really? And that's another thing hurting them. That's saying that insurrection's starting to bite them in the ass every day. It's one, it takes too long to get to any truth, and two, their truth doesn't seem to be the same as everybody else's. And nobody can answer why Nancy turned down the National Guard and why the Capitol Police were sent home. Nobody can seem to answer that. And we know it wasn't the right that did it. So, yes, it's
They're
gonna be us.
harping on old stuff. Like in England, man, they're still talking about the parties that happened during Christmas over a year and a half ago, whatever it is, for Boris Johnson having wine and cheese. Whatever, man. These people, they're all the same. They're all the same. They really are. They're all about fake outrage. What can I be outraged about today? Oh, let me be crazy. At some point, that craziness is going to get you in trouble. And there's a lot of people. I think that we're getting to a tipping point with people, especially in the United States of America. There's that verse one, verse two, and people against each other. It's very clearly defined. You know, uh, I think that the people that are the thinkers are just the minority right now. And the ones who are reactionary are the majority, on both sides. I mean, they want to fight each other. I watched Antifa throw rocks at people that, they didn't like what they're saying. You have people standing in the way of free speech, of your very own rights to peacefully protest, and then you have these people come out and throw rocks at your head, smoke bombs, other fireworks. They have weapons. There's all kinds of people get stabbed, people get killed, and the police just stand there and watch it. This happens in Oregon. It happens in Washington State. It happens in these blue territories. But you got to say to yourself, at what point do the people living there take up a defense of their own against these perpetrators? Man, I mean,
Mm.
there's a lot of places you can't get away with that stuff. Even blue states, you can't get away. You try that with a lot of different crowds, and those Antifa people are going to have a different reaction. What's going to happen to them? But it just seems like that's the direction we're going. And as well as I do, this Antifa came about because it was dark money from the Democratic Party that funded it, that started Black Lives Matter, same thing. It was their
Yeah, well,
dark
they were
money
just
that
talking
that
about
got
they
the
were talking about
ball.
BLM earlier today. What do they call it? Their Titan fund coming from Titan Industries, big companies. It's just their
Yeah,
slush hidden fund. Yeah, they got busted on that one. So there's a lot of money funneled into BLM, and you know what? I can't see where they've done anything. And when I ask people in communities if they've done anything, no one can seem to answer me.
they have
It sounds like more like let me
billions.
take the money and run.
Billions. And why aren't they fixing things? If you have that kind of money, you can like go do all kinds of stuff for people, make their lives better, you know. But they're not, and they don't. They buy mansions for themselves, and they're
Yeah, you
living
hit
high
Marshall.
on pie in the sky, man. My mom used to say, "Pie in the sky." That's where they are, and they're living that life, and they have the best and best, and they got the best champagne. The best. I was watching them the other day, a little video of these guys. They've gone from rags to riches, right? And they don't want to give that money up. But
Let's
yeah,
see
but
how
you're
this
right.
goes.
What do they do? But you see now in the United
We're
States,
live.
if you're a 501(c)(3) and you're a nonprofit agency, the government says you only have to give 2% of what you take into charity, only 2%, and that's a gray area too on proving what you spent on whatever you're fundraising for, on that issue. So the laws are very loose, and they take advantage of the law. You don't think the United Way does that? A lot of these
Everybody
agencies.
abuses the donation system. That's just part.
I
That's just
was
part of the BS.
I was part of the Children's Dream Factory, and I'll tell you, I did it because they take 90% and they put it back in 90, put it for the charity, making kids' dreams come true if they're sick or terminally ill and that type of thing. So that was a worthy mission, and I think it brought sunshine to people's
Yeah,
lives.
it is.
And at least most of the money went to the kids. 10% for clerical and that type of stuff, which is understandable. But it's not understandable for someone to take 90%, shove it in their pockets, and they all have it. The Clinton Foundation, the McCain Foundation, the Obama Foundation. They all have one. They funnel money and they use it like a credit card, to support
But
things
yeah,
that they.
I'm glad you said that because I want to segue back to the Durham report for a few minutes because I've been getting more stuff and I've been reading more about it. So these emails that they're looking for, these different, when what do you call it? Not the Supreme Court when the hearings, the arraignment hearings, or whatever the hell they call them, the grand jury was put together. They want all of this stuff. He wants all this. He wants to talk to all the witnesses. He wants to talk to everybody at Hillary Clinton. He wants to see all of her emails to places like Bernie Sanders. When they were talking back and forth. He wants to see the ones for Hillary Clinton, for Nancy. This guy's going into everything. He wants to know what the hell is going on. And they were fighting him. Nancy and him said, no, we're never going to give it to you. And then the judge said, yes, you are. And it was a liberal judge that said, yes, you are. He wants all this information turned over. All of them are too old to go to jail. So even if they get convicted, they'll either get house arrest or get whatever you call it, the place they sent Edwards. Because everybody said Edwards, would never go to jail, never go to jail. He, four terms as governor, always investigated, always came out ahead, and then finally his ass ended up in jail. His big Democratic butt did it was a 10-year sentence, but I think he did 5. but it wasn't a jail that you or I would get sent to. I
But
mean, he
at
had
least he,
conjugal bridges, he had
oh
dinner
yeah,
served.
it's like summer camp
Yeah.
for those
Oh
dudes.
yeah, it's not like where we would go. But getting back to the report for a few minutes, so Durham is pretty much painting a nasty picture of what went on in this election. So he's even showing where there may have been attempts for election fraud. So if that's true, then you got to pop back to the last election and see if any of that was actually involved in that. Now we know there's election fraud, and every time you hear the Democrats, oh, there wasn't. But every time the Republicans win, it's election fraud. So we need a new system, a system where you can't cheat.
Yeah,
I know,
I don't know, man, because a free
retina
system,
scan.
there has to be some kind of trust in a free system, and,
Well,
and
retina scan 'em.
these guys have proven distrust. It's a culture of corruption. It's very difficult to get around, something like that. It's years and years. It's not something to be changed in a day. It has to be steered into the right direction. But I don't know how that happens really. With especially you see what's going on, and
You know,
it's pretty bad.
damn, sorry. I seen a question a little while ago about how would the United States respond if Russia used a low yield nuke. Hmm, depends.
Depends, yeah, depending on where, against who, and what the ramification was. It really depends. So we
But
may not be
basically, what
able to
everybody wants
respond.
to know, but what everybody wants to know is would we go beyond sanctions at this point? That's just risky business. You got to remember, they got 3,000 nukes. We got 3,000 nukes. That's 6,000 nukes. You don't want them flying around the planet. Um, it's just it's a tough thing unless the United States is secure in its mass drone attacks that it could take out all Russia's missiles. Then we might do it. We might go after them then. But right now, I don't know. I don't know how you would respond to that. Bad Putin. Bad Putin. I mean, what the hell are you going to do? Go over there, but yeah, I guess we could go over there and target all his nukes and blow them up. Do a joint strike from all the NATO countries and the EU countries and just take them all out at one time before he has time to launch them. And that's if we know where every nuke is. And that's highly
That's if
unlikely.
people carry out his command. I mean, that's a lot for those people. I know they're trained to do it, but I think with the circumstances that in a lot of people's minds, in that chain of command, it needs to be warranted and not just on the whim because the guy's old and crazy. His brain's
Well,
eaten with
there's
cancer.
some kind of it's like the United States. There's some kind of buffer in there somewhere, but
Well,
I don't exactly remember
what's to
how it works. But
stop him from having some sub launch on New York or Washington that you wouldn't be able to stop. It would be so quick, happen in a few minutes, nobody would even understand. What's to stop him from doing that?
well, Washington has its own missile defense system, so it probably wouldn't get through. But somewhere like New York or Boston, it would probably
If
get
you rain
through.
down nukes on someone with multiple warheads, I mean, and they
Yeah, but
detonate them, but
Russia,
they don't have to detonate on the land. They just have to detonate up in the air, and
well,
then
yeah,
that's it.
they always detonate. They always detonate above the air. I mean,
Yeah, but
above the
that's
ground.
it.
Yeah,
That's it.
that's where you get
That's
national
that's
cover.
all she wrote. And
But
if that happens, what would we do?
Russia right now currently only has three warheads per any one missile. They built a new missile that could carry more, but it's not actually in operation yet. So Washington D.C. has the ability to shoot that down.
I'm just talking about subs and if there's a surprise
But I'm
attack
telling you, that, the
the amount of
D.C. has the ability to shoot down a sub attack. It was
I
designed
wouldn't,
that way.
that's great. What about New York?
That's what I'm saying. They don't. They'll get nuked. So will Boston. Maryland won't though, because the system in D.C. covers Maryland, but everybody else will. There's unless they get some systems we don't know about, or because subs are hard to defend against. I mean, if
Maryland,
you're off the coast,
Maryland is basically DC. I mean, that's in the whole area. If you nuke a place like that, they're going to get it in the face too. So, but that would disorient the chain of command. That would cause a huge chilling effect, and that. But I think that Putin would have to have a lot of support, especially from China and others. You see how India is sitting this out, and because they get all their fuel basically from Russia, and they don't want to upset the apple cart there. So interesting. We've done so much for India, and but
well, the U.S. hasn't put any push on India either. We've been just letting them walk through this.
they've
Kind of like,
supplied
yeah,
some
go
some
ahead.
aid, that type of thing, but they haven't gone any further than that. But so that's just how it goes, man. I don't think that a lot of people see it as their problem. It's a Ukrainian problem. So we see it as a Russia problem. And Zelensky and all that, I don't know. He's
You know,
I'm no fan of his, and the people that got so gung ho for this dude, you know, I don't think they understood the full situation, and his actions and what's happened to his country. So and when he is out there basically threatening us, Putin's coming for you next. Putin's not coming for us next. He's not
they're
going for
not.
Poland. He's not going for any of these countries. He wants to actually, the countries back that the Soviet Union had, but they wanted the Ukraine because it was strategic to them. But I'm not saying it's right. I'm saying what you can't go back at this point, and we got 2020 vision because we can look back and say you should have done this, should have done that. At this point, it's causing a bigger issue and drawing us into a World War III situation.
Yeah,
You
see, here's
only need
another
one.
criticism.
You only need one mistake. One mistake. Fire a torpedo by mistake, or this happens, or this one bumps the bomber and something. I don't know, man. In a situation like that, it won't take much to make it happen. It depends how crazy Putin is. But and if he does go under the knife for cancer surgery, like you're saying, whoever's in charge, when he's under, I mean, that might be a whole different thing too.
Yeah, we don't know what's all going to happen with all that. I see there's more criticism of the U.S. intelligence sharing. They're saying they've gone too far. They shouldn't be talking about it. And I agree. I don't know why they would be bragging about this. Why would you brag about our intelligence sharing? Yo, man, that's the other thing that pissed Putin and China off. South Korea joined NATO's whatchamacallit division, the cyber division, cyber attack division.
Yeah.
Man, they're furious about it. Hey, that's how it works. What's this? Clarence Thomas says government institutions shouldn't be bullied following leaker draft opinion or on abortion. He's not going to be bullied. He's like, screw you. All you making me do is hold fast. That's what they said about the five that are voting against the overturned Roe. They said that this is just going to make them hold fast. They said the leak probably did more harm than good. It's because it's going to make them vote no matter what. They said they might have changed their minds before the vote. Now they're not going to. And again, still nowhere as I'm scrolling through these news feeds do you see anything about Roe versus Wade. It's only 3 days and it's already dumping out of the news feed. And they'll try to bring it back in election in November, but it's not going to help because Biden's approval rate is still going to be in the 30s. Kamala's is still going to be in the 20s.
I'm
Congress
voting.
is
He's
still going
not
to be
going to
in
be.
the 19.
I'm voting. Something's going to happen. He's going to have aneurysm. Something's going to happen. I'm voting. He's not going to make it. You know, that's
He
it.
might
That's
not.
where I'm at. I don't see him making it. I'm just watching him go downhill, even from a few months ago. It's not like I see him all the
Maybe
time
maybe
either.
we should send Amelia and Michelle to exercise his ass. Maybe the demons got it.
Well, all of Washington D.C. would disappear.
Yeah. That wouldn't
Demons would
hurt
be
too much.
pissed.
Yeah, I see a lot of people coming out hard against Biden's idea of having this disinformation group. They're like, yeah, whatever, dude. We're going to trust anything that comes out of that group.
Yeah, it's
Liberals want
it's
to
really
now,
beyond.
but you gotta really think. Why do liberals think they can control free speech? I mean, what do they think they're doing here? All that's going to even drive liberals against them. I mean, without free speech,
This
even
is
Twitter
why
won't
I
exist.
left Twitter. I left Twitter because it got to be ridiculous. And then when Elon bought it, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to put it back on my phone and get back on there again because it just seems like it's a move in the right direction just for people, not to favor one speech over another, but to favor all of free speech. I mean, that's pretty simple. But these groups, the lefties, don't want you to have free speech. If you challenge their ideas, they want to take you out. They want to cancel you. They want to just kind of out you, label you as whatever, so they can destroy your life. They've got power. The media gave them power, didn't it? CNN, MSNBC, other these crap channels. They caused this ball to roll, and now people. It's a chilling effect. Chilling effect, man. People are afraid to speak their mind. They don't want to lose their job. They don't want to be denounced in their community as some kind of hater. But
Mm.
wow.
Well, even
What a
plan. Oh,
world.
Pelosi slamming the media for reports on U.S. intelligence. Oh man, Nancy, yeah, you know, because you know you're in trouble for letting it leak. You probably want to damn leak it. Annoyed and
She's
betrayed. Yeah,
she's third in command. She
yeah,
look at the people who are running the country, man. I mean, think about it. Not just
yeah.
the world, the whole world. You know, what leader out there actually has some kind of level mind? You know, man, they fail to my standard, my humble standard of decency.
um, yes. Who sent me this? Annoyed and betrayed inside the collapse of the Black News Net channel. Hey, you know, I know the one in New Orleans is pretty good. I don't know about this one. Well, look, for some reason, no organizations ever goes without fault. There's always some kind of hate or betrayal or something else involved in them. But still, I mean, I'm scrolling. I've probably been through 300 articles now, and still haven't seen anything on Roe versus Wade. Senate Democrats join with Republicans to vote down Bernie Sanders' effort to stop outsourcing. He wants to keep the jobs in the U.S., and everybody's hating on him.
Good. We should keep the jobs in the U.S. I'm all
Yeah,
for it.
everybody voted against his ass. That's the problem.
I'm all for it.
EU
Every time I
election
pick up the phone, I want
2022.
to talk to customer service, and I connect with someone who can't speak English, and they're getting mad at me because I can't understand them. You know, and here are these people who have basically your financial information in some cases, other types of things. You know, even if it's your cable bill, even you know, if it's your phone bill, you got to talk to AT&T, and they jet you off to India. You know, those the people in that call center have access to your information, all of it. You know, so I don't know, man. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it's a security nightmare, and that's what gets to me. So I don't know. In the United States, there's call centers in some prisons. These people have jobs in prisons, and they get on the phone. They're like telemarketer type of thing, but they're also handling, you know, different accounts for people, communications and that type of thing, or whatever. So here you have criminals with access to your name, address, credit card information, maybe PIN numbers, whatever. Terrible, man.
Yeah, anything that they can use when they get out, huh? Sorry to
Anything
say.
they can tell somebody something to while they're in,
That's true.
you know, and start stealing people's identity. Identity theft is a huge problem right now throughout the world. You know, it's getting worse, not better. You
Wait, there
have
might
to
be.
really, even when you know when you're online, man, it's important to be careful, and especially if you have any kind of financial information out there. You know, so I work through a VPN, you know, which is a virtual private network for people out there that don't understand. You know, a couple bucks a month, and it covers me, and it kind of makes a tunnel of a tunnel of love around my communications, where it blocks out hackers and whatever. It also makes it so companies can't gather information on me and send me ads and do all that designer ad stuff, ad targeting.
Oh wait, here's a here. Okay, here's something on Roe versus Wade, guys. Something
Here we
finally
go.
came up. Gavin Newsom delivers scorching criticism of Democrats' response to protecting Roe versus Wade.
Yeah.
Where the hell is my party? I guess they don't agree with you. You know, I don't. You know, I've always asked Democrats why are they scared to take abortion to a country vote. You know, put it on the ballot. We got an election coming up in November. Put it on a ballot. Let the country decide. You know, if it's going to be a federal law, let the country decide. If the majority of voters in the country voted, they will. If not, they won't. I don't think the Democrats think they got the votes. That's what I think.
You know, man, it's a terrible issue. It really is, and it's a human issue. It's an individual issue, but now it's become this huge political issue, and it has been for a long time. And it's just another thing that people fight back and forth on, of the decisions. You know, people think they should or they don't, and whatever. I don't know. It's ugly. The whole thing is ugly, and they use these ugly issues, and they get people get so heated. You ever you ever go by one of those protests? The ones who are against abortions, the ones who are for. They have these big billboards of like these bloody babies and whatever. I'll tell you, man, they're they don't understand the damage that they do. And I don't know if they're trying to get people on their side by doing that, but to me, it doesn't. Like when you watch Fox News, sometimes I flip around the channels and I see it. You got people on there that yell. That they're always yelling. You know, that guy Dan Borgino or whatever his name is, and this other dude. So they're like, bah, 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 bah. I can't listen to that. I can't be yelled at. I can't listen to these people who are just journalists and they really don't have much of a background. A lot of them, they're just people on TV, reading these things off for the machine that pays them. I'm looking for information, and they can't give me what I'm looking for. So then it's entertainment after that, right?
Oh, it is a second Russian warship messed up by the by the Ukrainians. Go UK, buddy. I'm sorry. Yeah, I guess it
The
is UK.
second one,
Yeah, second one.
when how long?
The Admiral Markova 409-foot frigate was sailing close to Snake Island in the Black Sea off the coast of Ukraine port city Odessa when it was reportedly hit by a R-360 Neptune anti-ship missile fired from the Ukraine mainland.
So that's another one,
Oh, that's another one. It's a whole separate one, yeah.
a frigate, which
Russia,
are,
Russia.
are, are fighting ships, man. Frigates are fighting ships.
Yeah, that's
They
what
got a
they're
lot of
for.
guns, missiles.
It's yeah,
I use
damn,
them
look
all the
at
time
it.
in my pirate video game. My frigates are made of wood, but damn,
Yeah, they're still frigates, man. Still doing their job. I mean,
yeah,
the Ukraine's
it's
trying to
crazy.
hold its own. What do you
They're
mean, for Donnie? No, 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 no. Wait. Hold on. Let me think about that. It's What do you mean? I don't. You're asking me if I'm okay. I gotcha. I just it didn't make sense at first. If I'm pro life or what do you mean? Pro life or pro death? Is that what you're asking me? um, I'm not anti-abortion, but I'm not really pro-abortion either. I got this rule about sometimes abortions are needed for whatever reason, but really and truly, you know, killing babies is not a good idea because you never know who you're killing. I mean, you might be killing the next Elon Musk, the next Einstein. I don't like those odds. I mean, 22 million
what if
babies
it's
have been killed.
Hitler or Joe Biden?
But hey, that's well, then you can't really hate, but still, do we know that is what the problem is? And I just always had a rule: if somebody's willing to take a baby, it shouldn't be aborted. And I can understand that there are reasons for people who want to have abortions.
They denied Hitler art school. They denied him art school, man.
And
One
you see it
simple
pissed himself
action,
so bad, he tried to take off the world.
one simple decision, one simple thing can change a whole course. You know, isn't that weird? That's so weird, man.
Hitler was just Napoleon reborn. That's all that was.
You always have some madman. Oh, now you got Putin. He's another madman. That's why he keeps quoting Hitler. So he's
That's
anti-Nazi, right? I mean, he's doing exactly what the Nazis did, basically, extermination of people, and look at the stuff that they did. But I don't know, man. That situation is not going to get any better. It's not going to turn out well. Russia has to understand that losing so many assets, there's got to be a point where you say, okay, we can't do this. I mean, these ships, it's big stuff, and these ships have hundreds of sailors on them. They die. That one, they lost a whole crew. And that was what they have, like over 1,000 people in there.
oh, now
So
they're blaming Miss Jackson for the court wanting to get rid of abortions. Well, you're a Supreme Court justice. Get up there and fight for your rights. Sometimes these people, some of these stories are so ridiculous, like the one that the Democrats had out that said that Roe versus Wade would it would hurt black marriages. Really, why? I have no idea where that came from. And then there was another. There was just so many stupid ones. So
no, I know
now
people in the black community. They're not happy about abortion because it affects their community on one of the highest. The amount of black Americans that have abortions. It's an extermination, man. I don't know. You know what? I've always tried to kind of stay away from the subject because it's an irritating one, and it's more of one of doing the right thing for yourself. And when I see these people argue the chemical biology of what's a baby and with the heartbeat and this and that, I don't see it like that. I just see it that you get an abortion, you're denying that would be person a life. a whole life. I mean, you're denying them children, you're denying them grandchildren, you're denying them the highs and lows of life, and everything that comes in between, and the pleasures of life, and whatever it could give you. I don't know, man. It's who's to say, and that's a huge decision to make. So it's not just about a woman's body, because that's the way the body was designed. You can fault the designer, or don't get pregnant. Even better. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff, morning after, and this pill and that pill, and all kinds of contraceptives. So, is there a reason for people to get pregnant these days? I mean, maybe, the at the odd amount, some can slip through, but if there's responsibility involved, they're not going to get pregnant. But
Well, it's interesting because there's a couple of countries in Europe now that have contraception for men. It's inserted in your arm. In those countries, the actual birth rate has gone down
there you go.
because once men get it, they get it. Because most guys don't want to have a kid until they're ready to have a kid.
Oh yeah, it's a
And
huge
it's
financial
not that women
obligation.
it's not that every woman goes around chopping, but there are a lot of people out there who.
There's a lot of single women out there with a lot of kids, and some of them have three, four,
No, yeah, I know a
five
couple of them that
kids, and they
have.
have a different
Yeah,
father for each kid. There's no holding people accountable for their ill behavior. Then they're out there looking for daddy number six, right? So I think that there needs to be a lot of insight there psychologically to see why people do that, and it's not good for the kids. It's not good for their environment. All these women end up on welfare. They got 4 or 5 kids. They got no one to take care of them. They got to do it themselves. So then you have a system supporting them and their kids. So there's a lot to this. If the guy's involved, oh, he gets called out. But you have there's a lot of cases where you have guys who are going to jail, and they're this, they're that, they don't have any money, they're on welfare and that type, and then they're out having a bunch of kids. You have a level of society that's suffering because of that, you know, where they're not learning anything from their parents, right? And they're growing up in abject poverty most of the time, which isn't it's not good, it's not healthy, So a lot of questions have to be answered inside our own humanity, but they waste time on other stuff, But there's people suffering, and there's people, we got to wipe out poverty. I think we can do it. I believe we can, but
yeah.
I don't know. Maybe
Uh,
maybe we can't. Maybe they need those poor people to make them fight against each other. So I mean, these people on top, they have so much. They have everything. They can have anything. They can have everything. They own the best houses, the biggest yachts. They got the most land. What's left for them beyond monetary value is to watch the puppets fight each other, right? I think there's a very real. You go back to robber baron days. I don't think a lot's changed.
wait, wait,
Come
who's
on,
this?
look at the
Oh, yeah.
Russians, man. They're supposed to be, anything. Anybody who's communist, like look at the communist China. Russia was. I think they still are, really. But they have oligarchs who are billionaires, or they have this aristocracy who are rich people. So they're full of it. They're not. It's not communist. It's not the people's stuff and everybody's the same and all that. No, it's never like that. It's a sham. It's a
Wait,
sham.
so we're talking about Russia and all of that, but a lot of people have been talking about the threat of nuclear war between the U.S. and China because of the war in Ukraine.
Oh yeah.
That's a little bit different. China's got about, it may have gone up. Last time I checked, China had I think 488 nukes, and the U.S. has got 4,000 almost. Plus, we've got a bunch of submarines floating around the desert, and we've showed China on more than one occasion. Ronald Reagan was the first president to do it. He popped up a nuclear submarine on each side of China just to say hi. But just recently, I mean not Bush, Trump sent over three. He sent one on each side and one on and down the South Pacific to say they didn't know they were there. Matter of fact, the subs had been above water for almost 5 hours before anybody even seen them, and it was civilians that reported them, not military. So they could have wiped out those five subs had enough missiles on them to completely level China. They would never
I
had a
don't think
predator
there's
to shoot
anything
them
about
down.
no worries about wiping out. It's more about not getting to that point. You know, China is also threatening India. India and China don't ever get along, but China's trying to claim the whole South China Sea and also the areas around India. And to block them off. So to the point where we actually sold a whole big weapons package to India, which gave them these airplanes that have torpedoes, so they can scoop in on China's submarines and drop these torpedoes. They didn't have any technology like that, and we enabled that for India to happen so they can protect themselves. So there's pushing going on and testing between those countries and also those islands off the coast of China. Joe, we talked about it years ago that those islands were going to be a huge issue and a huge problem. They put out their hospital out there, like they put a hospital on an island where there's no people, and saying it was claiming it was for aid and to help others. That's bullcrap. But now look at China. Look, they're trying to shut down that whole corridor, which serves 13 countries. They run their shipments up and down there and all that. So they're testing, man. They're testing. So it's important to see Russia crumble because China's going to learn from that. They're not going to think
But they
that.
will learn from it. But China's not going to learn much because they're going to stay as a communist country and they just can't
Oh
survive
yeah,
as a
they're going
communist
to
country.
until their
Yeah.
people can overthrow them.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
going to be some time down the line. Oh, here you
you
go.
never know. You never know, man. There's a lot of
Okay,
people that
here's the latest count on nuclear weapons in the United States. Russia has 6,375 nuclear warheads. The United States has 5,800 nuclear warheads. France has 290. China has 320. United Kingdom has 215. Pakistan has 160. India has 135. Israel has 90, and North Korea has 30.
sounds
These are the
like enough
countries with nukes.
to wipe out the whole planet, doesn't it?
It sounds like a lot to me. Now, I had just recently heard because of the last down phase that Russia and the United States had moved down to about 3,500 nukes each, and that China had moved up to about 400. But I haven't seen it anywhere else, so I'll have to wait and see if I can authenticate it. But it's a lot of nuclear weapons, people. That's a lot of nuclear weapons. I mean, that's plenty enough to wipe out the whole planet more than one time. Yeah, it's just personally, I don't know why the United
Well,
States ever, with the exception of Russia, I don't why understand why the United States allowed anybody else to develop nukes. We should have stopped everyone from having it but the two of us.
there's a lot of people in science that believe if you use more than 5 or 6 nukes at one time on the surface of the planet, it'll cause a nuclear winter. Put up enough ash and crap and dirt into the atmosphere to block out the sun a large enough percent where it would cause a mini ice age and that type of thing. So there's a lot of unknown territory. The only country that's ever dropped nukes on anybody is us. And you see how it worked out for them. And those were just baby nukes. I mean, that was like
Oh yeah,
nothing compared to what they do now.
yeah.
You know,
We measure megatons. They measure in kilotons. This is a much bigger thing. Those little
oh yes,
nukes, Jesus.
especially multiple warheads. When these things have 8, 9, 12 warheads, or whatever the hell they have. It depends on which one. That's a huge concept that people. I mean, one warhead might have a 6 mile break. A circumference. And 6 miles is huge to have that happen. Then you have 10,000-degree heat. You have the blinding light, all the other stuff that comes with it, the radiation, the fallout. I mean, it's not just something you can just use and walk away. It's not like one of those Moabs, like the mother of all bombs, that type of thing that has no radiation. This is a different world, man. But
It is.
it's scary. Now you got Russia threatening Canada too. And you think Trudeau was right in there.
Yeah,
I mean,
Trudeau belongs to Chinese, so he's a no good
yeah,
SOB.
he's their lapdog. He's a lapdog of China. He really is. It's sad to say.
See, this is the problem.
Couldn't
I can
even
see why the media is not going on and on about Roe versus Wade because they're
they couldn't
polling.
even
You don't see
handle
it.
they couldn't even
Well,
handle
you
a
know,
trucker
yeah,
protest, and those truckers were so peaceful. They were like
yeah,
passing out jerky.
yeah.
It's a
But
protest,
see,
man.
this is why the media won't touch Roe versus Wade. Why they're leaving it alone because they're polling to see how many people like it. What's happening is none of their polls, even the ones on MSNBC, are not showing that the majority is against it. They're showing the majority is for it. So they're just leaving it alone. Because if
Yeah.
they keep pushing it, the polls will start coming out, and then they'll have a bigger problem. Because right now, they're saying that the Democrats don't have the votes to get it passed. There are Democrats that are pro-life, so I don't. They're scared that they
I
can't
know
get it passed in the
Democrats who
House.
I know Democrats who like their guns. I know Democrats who
No,
are hunters and whatever, and they don't take part. But in a lot of this really heavy leftist stuff, but they still support the party, right?
It's Trump peaceful protesters shot. Whatever, people. Enough about all that. See, not and it's all, here's MSNBC's top 10 articles. The real reason the right is freaking out about the court. Then they're talking about Tucker Carlson. U.S. has lost its moral authority on abortion. 3 reasons conservative justice clerk may have been the one who leaked. Shameful Ohio campaign says a lot more about GOP. How Russia's war exposed a huge pro-war problem in U.S. media. 2 observations about Joe Munchin. He might as well be a GOP. Mark Esper reads chilling facts about Trump and George. Susan Collins is shocked by Brett Kavanaugh's lies. And then Trump's people protesting get shot. That's your top 10 stories. You notice none of them say anything about Roe versus Wade. None of them. There's not even sub articles about it. It's just like, oh, let's not talk about it anymore. I guess maybe they think they're going to save it for November.
Election
I'll, I'll,
day.
look, all the Democrats need to know is, and I'm telling y'all Democrats right now, all you need to know is, if you want to have a prayer in November, you better get the prices of
Here,
food and the prices of gas down, or you're gonna lose in a landslide.
uh,
I'm not shitting you out. I went to go get coffee today on my way home, and I usually pay like $8 for one of the big containers, right? Because I like to keep it out in the house. It's 12. It's might as well just say $13 now. I mean, come on, that's $5 it's going up. Really, and why? I mean, yeah, I don't see any problem with exporting coffee from South America, so why is it going up? I mean, gas is still hovering around $4 a gallon down here, and that's just not going to float. And all I keep hearing from them is, well, the unemployment rate's 33.6, the lowest it's been in 50 years. No, that's went back to Trump's unemployment rate. I'm like, come on, guys, you got to do something. You got to get the price of gas and just start pumping gas out of our own ground and get the price down. Get the economy. You know, it bothers me because, like down here, almost all the meat and almost all the vegetables and all come in locally. So why the fuck is it so high? Beep, why is it so beeping high?
yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. And people are just taking advantage at this point. And then, I thought about going to business with a friend of mine opening up a restaurant. So I was talking to another friend of mine who owns a couple of restaurants. He said, don't bother. He said, the 2 new ones I was trying to open, he said, I closed and sold because I couldn't get any help for them. I mean, and
The,
he's serious. And this isn't a city of hospitality. I
the,
mean, New Orleans is a hospitality city.
the local farms around here will like the ones where you pick the blueberries. Like you go and pick them, they'll charge you more for those blueberries than what they cost in a supermarket. That's just it's crazy like that. It used to be you go to the farms and you got a deal because they have an
Well,
overabundance
see,
of stuff. You
the
got to go
strawberries are still like
farm.
that down here. You can go get a big plat of strawberries for like $5, man. You got to pick them yourself, but you can pick all the big ones and all. They don't care.
I'm
There's so many of them
saying
out there.
they limit you. So if you have like a pint, they want you to pay $7 for a pint of blueberries that you pick yourself. It's crazy.
Hell, that we get them shit freaking blueberries free down here. What the hell?
There's nothing. There's nothing. I'm not fond of hard labor, especially when I got to pay double the amount of money for something.
I know you might
But
as well
that's
buy it at the grocery store, where they're
you
already
know why?
cleaned
Because
and ready to be eaten.
they make it all some boutiquey thing. They make it all so. It's that you're not someone who serves coffee anymore. You're a barista, right? You're not someone who makes a sandwich. You're a sandwich artist. They're adding all these stupid things into just these common regular jobs. Then all of a sudden it becomes some boutiquey event. Oh, you're picking the blueberry. I gotta
The
pay extra
blueberry.
to work. They're supposed to pay me when I work. I want to pay less. I want to pay less. God damn it, not more. Less. I'm not looking
I
to
mean,
pay more. I can't pay more. I mean, come on.
oh, I didn't think about that inmate down in Alabama, the one that they say ran off with the guy.
You mean
I mean,
lurch?
the guy.
Lurch.
Yeah, you heard how big
They
he is,
say
right?
6'9".
I know, huh? You got to stand out in the crowd. The media started
Yeah.
off right off the bat saying she was having an affair. And nobody still proved that she is, but she did take all of her money, 90 grand, and the 2 of them hauled ass. Man, they're probably out of the country by now, unless they're stupid.
Oh yeah.
If they'd
They have
have got
ways
out
to
on the
go.
first day, yeah, if they would have got out the first day, they're good to go. They can.
They got into the car, they dumped it, and whatever. She's 3 days away from retirement. Isn't that funny? But it's probably love. Got some love. That's what
Well, I
happens. The
see.
guy's like 30, 36. I think he's 37 years old. She's 50, what, 53, 52, 54. I don't know. Nothing to look at, man. That's my. That's what my friend said. I didn't
You
say
know,
that.
Trump. That's something else the media hasn't been reporting lately. Trump's been winning lawsuit after lawsuit after lawsuit. He still got the one
Oh,
against Twitter.
another dude, another one. $700 million super yacht linked to Putin seized by Italy. Ouch.
Oh, that
Ouch.
is us.
I mean, these countries are having a good time now seizing these super yachts, and I think I
Yeah.
think that's
See,
sign.
so this is Trump. Trump saying he's running in 2024, and all the party agrees. All the big members of the party, including Romney, agrees he controls the nomination. If he runs, nobody gets a nomination but him. And
Even
currently,
Romney.
all the polls say he can beat the Democrat. It doesn't even matter
Romney
if they.
probably thinks this. Romney
Well,
probably
Romney
thinks his
was one of them.
protective Mormon underwear is going to save his life, man, or
Well,
save his
he wants.
private parts from this next
Well,
election. Dude, it's going to be terrible. It's already terrible. It's already like violent. It's already terrible.
well.
So
So
I don't
here's
know. I'm
articles
not looking
about.
forward to it, man.
So, and by the way, Trump's pulled the highest black vote in the history of the GOP, and they're expecting it to be even higher this time, closer to 30, 35, 40. If he see that's why nobody can figure out how he lost last time, because he pulled 30% of the black vote and like 40% Hispanic vote. That's a record. He pulled all kind of stuff that the GOP don't usually pull, and he still lost. Everybody was kind of like, "Oh, okay,
Well,
that's
I think that,
unheard of."
no matter what you think about his character, I think that just watching what the Democrats have done and how they've performed in these situations, you can't let them continue. They didn't have a plan. It's like the New York City Mayor Adams, when he went up to Albany to talk to the governor, new Governor Hochul acts like every day is their first day, and the powers that be, he comes out of the meeting. Oh, people are judging me because I'm black and whatever. He played like the race card. He went up there. He should have had a plan. He should have said, "I need this, 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 and this. We're going to solve these problems." And they want to know how he's going to stop the crime wave. They said, "We're willing to help you, give all these resources." He didn't have a plan. So you have these politicians that just got in there because they wanted to put people in there, but they can't do the job. And I was trying to support the guy for the longest time. When I saw him hobnobbing in L.A. with Dave Chappelle, and other famous people in fundraising for the last few days, when New York City and people being shot, stabbed, pushed in front of trains, all kinds of terrible stuff happening, it's terrible. He needs to be there to fix that. So, but whatever, man. He's
Oh
just
shit!
another. He's just another
Oh,
poser. Just another poser, man.
more things that Hillary might go to jail. Uh,
Oh, I
Durham's
don't
getting ready
believe
to
that
get
for a second.
Durham's getting ready to get Fusion's GPS's reports, all of the email, all of their billing, everything. Oh man, she's going to prison for sure.
Oh yeah, they fabricated evidence, man, and entered
She's
evidence to
going
the
to prison.
FBI.
Yeah, she's going to prison for sure.
That's some serious
Uh,
stuff. But only regular people go to jail. People like that don't go to jail.
People like that do go to jail.
I like
There's
to
been some
see
pretty
that.
big names. There's some pretty big names going to jail over the years.
Hillary would
But
rule the yard too, wouldn't she? She would rule the yard, man. She'd be one
she
of those
would be
people
like
that.
she'd be like Martha. She'd go in, make friends with all thugs and stuff. Come out, smoke marijuana with Snoop Dogg, and bake cookies.
Martha came out richer,
She did,
more rich.
but she got in trouble for what the Congress does every day. I thought that was kind of shitty.
Hell yeah. Well,
But
because she's a
what can you
female,
do?
they want to rank and file some female, to show more of a balancing point, and they
Oh
did.
man, Martha Stewart was hot. What are you talking about? Oh man, yeah, I'd have done her in a heartbeat. What do you mean?
There's a
She,
lot of people that do that
powerful
stuff.
woman, turn you on. What can I tell you? So
Martha
it looks
Stewart.
good for Trump. Yeah, looks
I don't
good for
like people
Trump.
that don't laugh. She doesn't. Martha Stewart doesn't laugh. She doesn't even
What do
have
you
any like
mean? You better go watch it.
crow's
She
feet.
lost her. No, her and her
She's
and
she's 100.
her.
Not
No,
that
dude.
fake laugh. Not the fake
No,
laugh like you
dude. No,
imagine.
no. You
You're
ain't
running
been
somebody
watching. You
over
ain't watching
with
since
your
she got out
giant
of jail.
SUV.
No, dude. You ain't watching since she got out of jail. Her and Snoop get stoned and fucking act like, oops, excuse me, act like a bunch of moron goofballs. they're laughing their ass off, dude. It's that stone belly laugh. She's having a good time. She learned. I think prison helped her to mellow because her daughter said she was always a what bitch, and when she got a jail, she seemed to be different. I think it helped her to mellow out.
Her daughter Lexi. I used to have a thing for her, man.
Oh
I
no,
wanted
yeah,
young
you know,
Lexi. Lexi was cute.
he's a pervert, y'all. Don't worry about it. Some people are just
She's kind of too
perverts.
tall though. She's tall, man. She's like super tall,
Yeah.
but she was cute for a while there. I liked Victoria Gotti too years ago, man. You know, met her in the club business a few times. She was a very interesting person.
Wait, what? What
Very
if Doctor
beautiful.
Oz is running for
She
that?
was
What is
very
Doc?
beautiful. She go
I didn't know Doctor
NYU. She was
Oz.
like doing like what was she doing at NYU? Journalism.
Mm.
But when you're down in the city, you meet all types, man, and that's cool. I love the melting pot. You know, there's every ethnicity, everything you can get your hands on, whatever kind of food you want, whatever kind of parade, what kind of scene, what kind of holiday, it's all there in the city. I always love that about it. You know, didn't matter what it was. It was always fun to celebrate. You know, like when I was going to school, it wasn't about separating religions and not having religions. We celebrated everybody's religion. We celebrated all the holidays. It was fun to learn about it. It was fun to understand more about others in the world. That's Long Island. You know, that was Long Island school. That was pretty even minded. Now look at schools. Look how closed minded they are. Look what they try to shut out. We should be celebrating each other because we're all people anyway, right? But we should be
Mm.
celebrating each other, not fighting with each other. You know, the only ones that want you to fight are these demons out there. They want you to fight. They want people to be at odds. And so then you don't see what the hell they do.
I didn't know.
Bastard. Bastards. The bastards.
I didn't know Doctor Oz was running for a political office,
Oh,
and I didn't
yeah,
know he
man.
had dual citizenship. Yeah, I know he's Turkish.
Penn, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, but I didn't know he's Turkish. He has dual citizenship. I didn't know you could serve in the Senate with dual citizenship. Oh, that's
Oh,
weird.
yeah, why
I
not?
didn't know that.
He can't be
Because
president unless he was
you can't be
born
trusted.
American. I
You
don't
know,
trust anybody anyway. I don't care where they're from. if
yeah,
they're
dual citizenship sounds a
if they're in
little.
the political arena, that gives you a reason not to trust them.
Oh man. So I seen this real quick. Disney has 10 more superhero movies in their works. I haven't been all exactly impressed with their last few. And what do y'all think about Thor's going to be a woman now? Ooh. I would be okay if she was going to be like the Valkyrie woman or one of the hot Valkyries, but she's going to be the girl from the first Thor movie. She was just goofy. And I was like, I guess I'll wait and see. I'll make my judgment when it comes out. Yes. Wow, they had all those Valkyries to choose from. Why didn't they choose somebody like that? Or
You know,
even the black
it's
girl who.
actually it's actually gender biased, man. And there are roles that were written for men. There's roles written for women, and now they're taking these. They really take women. And it makes me laugh because you see these women who weigh 90 or 100 pounds, right? And then they're like kicking ass on guys who are 300 pounds, these muscled up, you know, dudes who are supposed to be like these martial artists. It's just so stupid. So it's just they don't understand the dynamics behind physics that you just can't do that. It doesn't work like that, you know. And but it's a facade. They throw it up. They put it in commercials. Look what they push. Are there any masculine men in commercials left? Answer me that. Masculine men in commercials. I don't see them. You
You don't
know,
even see them on Holy. Well, they don't. They're actually out of a lot of things these days. So.
Because the PC group has pushed masculinity as toxic. Any masculinity is toxic, right? And this is what their mission is to just deframe people and take people apart. You know, and also look what they're pushing on children. Look, you know, come on, talking to 7-year olds about sex. Come on, man. Come on, man. When you were 7, were you thinking about sex? I wasn't thinking about sex.
Oh shit.
I was just thinking about the crap I was thinking about when I was 7.
Yeah, I was thinking about sex the day I was born. But regardless,
Joe came
so
out. Joe came out horny.
that's
You
right,
know what you're
man.
saying, man?
That's what I'm saying. That's why my nephews and all them are older than me. I just started young. So on on the new Top Gun Maverick movie, the Russians got caught spying on the new hypersonic plane, the model that they have that the
Oh,
Boeing gave them. They
yeah.
got caught spying on it. Well, Boeing's supposed to have an operational. SR-72. Now they're saying it's not going to be out to 2030, but people have been reporting these hypersonic booms going through areas. You know, the official speed says it's going to be Mach 6, which means it'll be closer to Mach 8 or Mach 9, like the one DARPA has. So DARPA's planes come in at Mach 12, so they're hauling ass. It's This is going to be a beast, whatever this is. Oh, and by the way, in
It's
case y'all
12,
didn't know,
12 times the speed of sound.
these hypersonic jets are going to be badass. They'll be fast enough to pass up a hypersonic missile and shoot it down.
Every
But
Mach is the speed of sound. Let people know out there what Mach means.
on that note, which one was it? Who was it? One of the companies. There it is. Lockheed Martin conducts successful tests on new hypersonic missile. U.S. is not playing around. We just said, "Oh wait, Russia got a missile before we did. How the shit did that happen?" And then they just got on it.
Do you want to know how it happened? You had people in there that kept voting things down when it came to, advanced missiles and any kind of advanced technology. You had Obama in there for 8 years that was trying to dismantle the military. He was trying to destroy the military, and you can't tell me he wasn't. I mean, all of his actions, and I voted for the dude. I voted him in. And I
No,
thought he was
Obama
going to
was
do a good job.
anti-American, is what Obama was.
He
Still
became
is.
like that. I think he had a nervous breakdown within the first 3 months of his administration, and after that, he was just very much into himself. Hollywood president, hook up with Hollywood people, Spielberg and all that, give them awards, and then look after words, he went into Netflix. They gave him a contract worth hundreds of millions of bucks. I heard it was between 350 and 400 million to make content for Netflix. The Obama group that they
Yeah, but
gave him.
I've heard they pulled a lot of that back. They also you
Well, yeah,
see,
because nobody wants to see that stuff.
but you also see they pulled back on the Prince and the Princess. They gave them all that money, and they said, "No, we're not going to do this anymore." They canceled their show.
You're trying to force people to get. You know what? When it comes to the transvestites and all this other stuff, everybody should have a voice, and nobody should be hurt for what they are. And I think that it's gone so far in the world of, they feel threatened from every word and everything misconstrued, and you know there's elements out there that use that in their own advantage, for politics, and this is what we've seen. I've seen people used, groups of people, black people, Latino people, any group that's out there, they compartmentalize them and they use them to their advantage. They threaten them or say you deserve something more than other people. And this is what's caused all this disfranchisement. This is what's called this negativity, of people fighting with one another. We all need to be together and be equal. And when I say equal, I mean equal for the work that you do, equal for the talents that you have, equal for what you can contribute. Because that's equality. It has nothing to do with color or anything like that. It has to do with ability and what you can do for this nation and make it better. I don't know. That's my view, my humble opinion. I've seen enough. I've seen enough, man. And where we are right now is a very dangerous place. We have weak leadership. It's downright frightening. So, and here we go. Here we go. And these people lied and conspired and did all kinds of stuff to get power. And now they have power and they don't know what to do with it. You know who has a brain in the Democratic Party is Andrew Cuomo. And I don't even like the guy, but he's got. I watched him when the whole pandemic broke out. He knew how to respond. He knew how to get people together. He knew how to motivate people. Even looking for the vaccines. It was New York and our own labs that were doing this stuff, and he didn't trust. He didn't trust the CDC. They were coming out with different rules. He was like, "Nope, we're not doing that." I mean, like, that's a leader of somebody who automatically knows what to do. Doesn't have to be told. You don't need 15 committees. You're the elected leader because you know what to do. And it doesn't come down to even personal opinion necessarily. It comes down to the good of the people. How is this good for the people, right?
Yeah, it's not good for people. Oh, did you see that? What's her name? Oh, I can't think of her name. So it's one of the Congress ladies got on Twitter the other day and said, because they're going on and on about Roe versus Wade, and she goes on here and she goes, "Well, what if your daughter was white and the man who raped her was black? Then what would you do about the abortion?" And, I mean, how racist can you actually be? And but
Right.
yet Twitter let that slide. Now, if you said that or some conservatives said that it would have been a war. But because some liberals said it was okay, just like Jen Pinsky letting saying it's okay to go to the justice's house. I mean, if somebody gets hurt, she's going to be in big trouble for that, and they won't
Man,
hesitate putting her ugly ass in jail.
when we were young, we're close to age. You're older than me. When we were young, you could insult each other and laugh it off. It didn't matter if you were Jewish, didn't matter if you're Italian. People call you all kinds of names and whatever. It wasn't nasty. It wasn't meant in a derogatory sense, and people were able just to laugh at themselves. We've come into this overly sensitive world, and the dynamics they set forth is poison because people misunderstand or misconstrue all kinds of things, and then they get crazy. And then what happens that now the crazies are out there. They're out there in the streets, man. They're attacking. You can read headlines every day. You see it. Look at the guy who attacked Dave Chappelle. He's one of my favorite comedians. He's number one. He's my number one. Dave Chappelle. I think he's probably the funniest guy on the planet. Really, with his timing, his subject matter. I think he's all good. And they're trying to cancel him. They're trying to cancel him. You know what he is? He's a successful, secure black male in America. And look what the left is trying to do to him. So they don't believe in their own spiel when they talk about race and trying to put people forward. They are pushing their agenda. He doesn't fit their agenda. Are you seeing commercials with all these overly effeminate men? Overly effeminate men in every commercial? Does that even make sense? And that's a misrepresentation of the public. It's a misrepresentation of what people are. You
Oh,
know,
wait,
uh,
wait! Breaking news, man! Breaking news! Dune Part Two comes out October 20th, 2023. Got
who?
to get that out. Dune. It's the second part of the movie Dune.
Oh,
Yes, people. It's breaking
all
news.
right. Then I'm
Important
going to share
things.
my headline I just saw. Dumbledore linked to dark magic. And that came from the Ministry
Dumbledore
of
is a
Magic.
dark magic. He is a dark magic. What can you say? Oh, wait! What's this one? Biden torch for reminiscing about old days of having lunch with segregationists. Oh, Biden! You must have had a clarity moment there and flash back in time. I
I
don't know
know we're
what to
sitting
tell
here
you.
beating on Democrats, but Jim Crow, the KKK, all these things were Democratic creations. All of these things that held people back were all Democrats. And also, when you look at the suffrage movement with women, they didn't want black women. Black women didn't were able to join the movement until 1968. And these are the same group of people that are so democratic and so open. So let's call a pig a pig. You know what I mean? And let's not sit there and say, oh, because I'm in this group, I'm all perfect and whatever. I like to think who's realistic. I divide people in two categories: who I'd hang out with, who I wouldn't hang out with. And it's that simple. Bill Clinton, I can hang out with him, have a laugh, have some vodka and cranberry sauce and cranberry juice. You tell I don't drink. I'm
Yeah.
putting cranberry sauce in vodka. You can tell. I'll watch him drink. I mean, I could have a whiskey or something. But Hillary, I could never hang out. Never in a million years. That'd be so uncomfortable. That's where I'm at.
Well, Hillary, well, because Hillary might kill your ass. That's
I don't
why.
know why I picked out both of those. That's something we could probably laugh about, you know. So,
Uh,
but that other stuff, no. The other stuff, no. Some people are just driven to they're laser focused on whatever the hell they're laser focused on. They don't see anybody else in the world. And yeah, I probably couldn't hang out with Bill Clinton. I don't know. I think he's kind of old and feeble by now.
well, I see one of the liberals got busted. They say, okay, there's no voter fraud. So this guy got busted for 2011, 2015, and 2019 and 2020 for forging people's signatures to give enough votes for
And
somebody to go over.
And I say Bill Clinton because of that footage of him coming out with Boris Yeltsin laughing his ass off when they were both drunk. That's a fond political memory for me, you know. Or him whipping out. Remember, he went on Arsenio Hall with his sunglasses and his saxophone. Doot, 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 doot.
Mm.
That's it.
Oh,
And
oh,
you're like, hey, this guy's not so bad. He's running against Bush. Bush is old and decrepit.
let's see.
Here comes Clinton.
Yeah. Last few presidents all been old and cold. Wait, new study finds Omicron no less severe than earlier variant, and not just more transmissible.
When Bill
Yes, it's
Clinton
out there
was
to get
elected,
you.
when Bill Clinton was elected president, I was hanging out in this neighborhood in Far Rockaway. That's about 90%. It was a predominantly black neighborhood, and people have the radios on in the streets. Everybody's listening to the results, and the results weren't given till late, but there's still people hanging out. And I was at my friend Godfrey and Willie. I was like at their house hanging out, and when Clinton won, people were psyched. Oh, he's gonna do so much for us. He's gonna take care of all these problems. He's gonna get us out. I'm like, he's not gonna do a goddamn thing for anybody, but himself. Oh, he did put out the crime bill in 1993. Put 100,000 cops on the streets, man. But the problem in that community is poverty, poverty. And when people don't have, they do things, terrible things. They sell themselves, they steal, they join gangs to get money. You're forcing people to a certain lifestyle just to survive. Otherwise, they just sit there in some government paid apartment, sit on welfare, and die, and grow old and die with no opportunity, man. And I know that there's more opportunity out there now for people that are poor, but not enough, not enough at all. Not enough at all, man.
We got to get our ass out of here anyway. But um,
They want to pay off loans for people that went to Ivy League colleges, man. They want to forgive loans, for poor people, sure, but not those others, man. And I know, yeah, there's poor people who get into Ivy League colleges, but I think you need to go by just being realistic, and fairness. People want to be treated fairly in this world, the whole world, you know. Just
no,
treat me
when
fairly.
you're like me and you're part of alien, you don't care. You
I'll
don't
work
fuck
my
with
ass
that.
off. You treat me fairly, you know?
We got to get out of here anyway. So y'all be sure to come by and check out Michael on Tuesdays and Thursdays. He's on 7 o'clock Central Time, 8 o'clock Eastern Time, and 5 o'clock West Coast. So out there in the Pacific realm, where the big animal creatures come out the ocean. But anyway, we got to get out here. Y'all can catch me on, let me see, on Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. We won't be on this Saturday because I'm taking the studio down and moving it out front because I got to do I got to kill some termites where the studio is.
Oh my
Uh,
God, you got termites?
oh man, I got them in 3 walls, so I'm gonna have to be ripping out walls.
How hot is
But
it there right now?
right now it's not that. At night it's not that bad. It's in the 60s, 60s. That's we even got in 50s. But this coming week, it's going to all be 90 to 95, 80, about 89 to 90% humidity, and no rain, just hot and sticky through a whole week,
That's
which
why
sucks.
y'all talk so slow down there.
Mm,
You ain't
yeah,
got time
yeah.
to
It
fill.
just depends who you're talking to.
In New York, they ain't got time to kill. In the South, you got time to
They talk about that north of interstate, south of interstate where I live. Nobody talks like that. Everybody's like me, talking at warp speed.
not my imagination, boy.
I know that's not how that works. It's
You're welcome to Hazard County, boy.
all over the place. But anyway, guys and girls, I want to
You
thank
got the
everyone for
Creole. You
tuning
got the
in.
Creole people, man, with the voodoo out there. You got to be careful of that.
Yeah, Creoles are. Well, most people don't even know what a Creole is. Well, we'll save that for another show. But
You don't
people
want
ask
to
me
make
outside.
or what do
Yeah,
you say? The coon asses and the Creoles.
yeah. Well, no, don't be calling the Creoles Kunas. They might come shoot you. But
Is there a
Creoles,
difference?
yeah, well, yeah, because Creole is French and black. It's French and
Well, I know Creole that, but your version of coon ass. So that's just a hillbilly where I am, right? I mean,
Yeah, Kunas is just somebody who lives deep in the swamp. And
we
that's
call
just
them hillbillies here, but they're
yeah,
hills, no swamps.
they coon asses because they probably got a coon ass hat on, like whatever his name was. But anyway, we got to get out of here. I want to thank everyone for tuning in tonight. We had a lot of fun. Glad to see some friends come in. I see Mark stuff. I said Amelia come in. A couple of us hit us up on the page. When we do these shows, y'all, I mean, a couple people send us in links, but don't be bashful. Send us in anything you want to talk about. I'm sorry. But send us anything you want to talk about, and we have no problem pulling them up or even putting them on the page to show you. So we had a nice audience tonight. So again, Michael, tell everybody good night.
I'll say send cash, send bitcoins, whatever you got, give it to us. We'll take one of those super yachts, man. We can make good use of it, you
Yeah,
know.
yes. We could do the shows live all around the world, except in the Ukraine. Anyway, and oh, by the way, before I go, I know we're still being listened to in Russia. I know we're still being listened to the Ukraine, thanks to Elon Musk in one area.
Da da
But
da
I have seen the
da.
ratings are still up there. Hmm.
The hunt
I
for
see
Red
Russia's still really
October.
doing really good. Well, no, I see we have really good
Yodi,
numbers on Russia. So, look,
Yodi
guys out there in Russia,
Gagarin. Yeah.
talk to your president. We love y'all over there. We don't want to see y'all get blown up
Is he a
or
president?
be.
I don't think he's called. What do they call Putin?
Prime Minister or whatever he is. No, he's not the prime. He's one of those things, but he's an elected official, so he's got to be something like that. He's not. He's not like a dictator like
The
Xi
the
Jinping is.
the HDIC, man,
Xi
the
Jinping, we
head
love
douche
you.
in
We love you.
charge.
Xi Jinping, I'm going to send you some American women. I love you so much. But
I'm
anyway, on
gonna
that
send
note,
Xi Jinping some of that almond roca that the Chinese love so much.
mhm.
Almond roca with some red wine, baby. He'll be my friend forever.
When he was in America, he liked tall, lanky blondes. So
I want more dirt on Hunter.
I don't know. We didn't
I'm
get to
living.
talk
I'm
about
living.
Hunter tonight.
I'm living through Hunter at this
Yeah,
point.
but wait, we didn't get to talk about Hunter, but we're going to talk about him next week. We got to go, guys. Thanks
All
again for
right.
tuning in, and good night.